In just a few hours, Karmelo Anthony and his attorneys returned to court pushing for a new trial.
Anthony was convicted of murdering Austin Metcalf at a Frisco track meet last year. Our Janelle Fort is live at the Collin County Courthouse where a new judge is taking over his appeals. Good morning, Janelle.
Good morning to you, Dia and Matt. Well, there is no doubt that yesterday was a win for Karmelo Anthony's legal team, but today comes the much harder part. They now have to convince that new judge that there were problems in that first trial serious enough to throw out his conviction and do the whole thing all over again. So yesterday, a visiting judge agreed to remove Judge John Roach from the case. One of the defense's biggest arguments centered on an interview Roach did with WFAA just days after the verdict, where he said he believed the trial was fair and the jury got it right. They played that entire interview in court yesterday, and while the visiting judge said he didn't believe Roach had actually been unfair, he said those comments could make someone on the outside reasonably question whether Roach could remain impartial. That was enough for him to grant the recusal. Here's how our legal expert, Ton Shapiro, put it.
Technically, that's probably the first victory they've had in this case since it started, but it doesn't really change the landscape of what's next.
And what's next starts this morning. So retired Judge Michael Chitty has now been appointed to hear Anthony's request for a new trial. Anthony's attorneys are expected to raise several issues they say kept him from getting a fair one, including agreements over evidence that were never put on the record, restrictions on courtroom access for the public and media, Anthony's decision not to testify, and the removal of 3 black potential jurors. Now, Anthony is expected to be back here in court today. Cameras are still not allowed inside, so we will still have our team of legal experts and reporters inside so that we can get you the latest developments as they happen. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Janelle, thank you so much. This is a story that's been making national headlines for months. Stick with WFAA all day long as our coverage of this high-profile case continues. We'll have updates on air and on our streaming app as well.